A very good morning, dear students. Welcome to all of you to today's class. But before starting the class, let's do Brahmanad. Om Santi Santi Santi. Now open your eyes. So welcome to all of you once again to today's English class. So dear students, in the previous class we have read Unit 2 of the poem The Inchcape Rock. Today in this class we are going to discuss Unit 3. But before starting Unit 3, let's focus on few points of Unit 2. So in the Unit 2, I had told you one thing, that is, Sir Ralph was a rover. By nature, he was not good. He was unable to bear when people are showing their respect to the abbot. So, in order to harm, in order to destroy the dignity of the abbot, what did he do? He just cut the Inchcape bell from the Inchcape Rock, and as a result, the bell sank deep in water with a gurgling sound. And now, Sir Ralph was quite happy because according to him, now no one is going to bless the abbot for the noble deed. And after doing the work, this Ralph means the rover, Sir Ralph, will leave the place. Okay, this was the theme of your Unit 2. Now see Unit 3. Sir Ralph, the rover, sailed away. He scoured the seas for many a day, and now grown rich with plunder store, he steers his course for Scotland. So here I have written some of the difficult words. If you need, you can write it down. Otherwise, you also can ask me. Sir Ralph the rover sailed away. After doing the wicked work, after cutting down the Inchcape bell from the Inchcape Rock, Sir Ralph left the place. He just sailed away from the place. He was not having any intention to stay there. His sole motive was to damage, to destroy the dignity of the abbot. Okay. So after cutting down the strings, he just left the place. He scoured the sea. Scout means what? Move. He did the sea journey. Okay, he was in a voyage. So he just did the journey for a number of days. And what was the intention? Why he was moving in the sea? And now grown rich. And after moving in the sea for a number of days, he became rich. He became a wealthy man with lots of money and property and jewelry or ornaments. And now grown rich with plunder store. Plunder store means what? With stealing store, with the goods which is being stolen from others. Now, can you have a clear-cut idea what was the profession of Sir Ralph? He was a pirate, okay, and he was doing piracy. Okay, he was stealing people, stealing the ships in the sea. This was the work of Sir Ralph. And after cutting down the strings, he left the place. He just scoured, he moved in the sea for a number of days. And after some days, he became rich with the plunder store by doing robbery from the ship. He became quite rich. He steers and he just guided, he controlled his vehicle, means he controlled his ship, his course for Scotland shore. And right now, when he became rich, he started to move to the shore of Scotland. Scotland might be his hometown. So he started turning his course, he started turning his ship in order to reach Scotland. Okay, so when he became rich, he moved to his hometown. So thick a haze, O-E-R, it is mentioned, this means over, O-V-E-R, over, spreads the sky. They can't see the sun on high. Haze means what? Solid particles of smoke with dust. Okay, and it was so thick a haze, it was a foggy day. The fog was so thick that they are unable to see anything. It happens in Delhi in winter season. So overspreads the sky, and the sky was completely covered with fog. They are unable to see anything. They can't see the sun on high. They were unable to see the sun also, because the complete atmosphere was being surrounded with fog. Okay, that's why they were unable to see the sun. Means it was quite, even when it was daytime, still darkness was prevailing. The wind hath means has blown gale all day. Gale means what? Strong wind. And all day the wind was also quite strong. It was not an ordinary day. Listen, sunlight was not visible because there was fog. It was a foggy day. The haze is completely spread over the sky, and all day there was strong windfall. Okay. At evening it had means again had died away. But in the evening time there was no strong windfall. In the evening time windfall was not too strong, but still the atmosphere was not at all clean, just as it was in unit 2 and unit 1. Right now in unit 3 the atmosphere was not at all good. It was not at all favorable to Sir Ralph. On the deck the rover takes his stand. And how? Sir Ralph was standing on his deck. He took his stand, means he was standing in a stylish manner, and he was standing as if he was the captain of the ship. So proudly, so egoistically he was standing. So dark it is, they see no land. And on the deck means, I have told you, that is the upper part of the ship where a person can move. Okay. So on there Sir Ralph was standing. So dark it is, they see no land, and there was completely darkness, so dark that nothing was visible from a distance. Understood? There was complete darkness, they can't see anything else. Quoth means spoke. Sir Ralph, it will be lighter soon. Then Sir Ralph is speaking. Don't worry, soon there will be light, there will be daylight. For there is the dawn of the rising moon, because they can see the moon. Listen, normally we can't see the moon during the evening time after 10:30, 11 or in the midnight. Sometimes during the early morning, before early morning we can see the moon, and we also can see the moon by 8 o'clock, 8 a.m. in the morning. Okay, so here Sir Ralph is speaking. Just don't worry, there is the rising of moon. Moon is visible in the sky. That's why everything will be lightened up. There will be light. You just don't worry. Who is speaking? Sir Ralph is speaking to his people. Okay. For there is the dawn of the rising moon. So rising moon is going to rise. So don't worry. We can get the light very soon. Is spoken by Sir Ralph. Canst hear? Said one. Can't hear means can hear. Said one. One of the person who was present in the ship is speaking. Can't you hear? The breakers roar. What do you mean by breakers roar? Breakers roar means, listen, when the waves are colliding against something, a noise which is being created by the collision of the waves and something, that sound is known as the breakers roar. Or when the means waves are coming towards the shore, towards the bank, that sound is also known as the breakers roar. Listen, honestly speaking, just go to sea beach, the sounds when the waves are coming and it is dashing against the bank on the shore, that sound is the breakers roar. You just close your eyes and try to recall it, okay, so that you can understand it in a better way. So breakers roar means the noise of the waves. Can't hear, said one. The breakers roar means, can't you hear the breakers roar? That waves are colliding against something. For methinks we should be near the shore. And one of the person is speaking. I think we are near the shore. Who is speaking? One of the person who was present in the ship is speaking that I think we are quite closer to the shore. Now where we are, I can't tell, but I wish I could hear the Inchcape bell. What are they talking? He is speaking. Now where we are present right now, I can't tell, I don't know. We are able to hear the breakers roar, but I am unable to understand where we are present right now. But I wish, and I really wish, I could hear, I could listen the Inchcape bell. It means, what are they assuming? What are they thinking? They are thinking that they are not near the Inchcape Rock. Okay? Means the fear is there deep in their heart, and then they are speaking, we are not near Inchcape Rock because we are unable to hear the ringing sound of the bell. That's why we are not near the Inchcape Rock, we are near the shore, because we are able to listen this breakers roar. Understood it? Any doubt? Okay, listen. So here I have written 4 stanzas. Once again I am going to write it down by cleaning this side. Understood now? So here there was no light, nothing was there. They are completely, means they are not only not misguided, they are unable to find out the route because they are coming towards the Scotland. Okay, and on the return journey the climate was also not favorable. There was darkness, but all are expecting that there will be light soon. Then one of the person who was present in the ship is speaking that he could hear the breakers roar, but he is unable to hear the Inchcape bell. That's why they are thinking, they are assuming that they are nearer the shore. Okay. Now let's go to the next stanza. So what is written? They hear no sound, the swell is strong, though the wind hath fallen, they drift along till the vessel strikes with a shivering shock. O Christ, it is the Inchcape Rock. So here what is mentioned? They hear no sound. Okay, so here no sound. This sound is referring to the sound of the Inchcape bell. Okay, it is not referring to the breakers roar, because breakers roar was audible to each and every person. That's why they were assuming that they are nearer the shore. But they were expecting that if they were near the Inchcape Rock, then they would have been able to listen the Inchcape bell sound. Okay, but they were unable to listen any bell sound. So here sound is referring to the sound of the bell. They hear no sound, the swell is strong. Swell means what? Swell means something which is being risen up, but here it is referring to the tides. So the tides are quite strong, the waves are quite strong. Though the wind hath fallen, hath means has. Okay, this is the old English. Has always means has. Fallen. Though the wind was not too strong, there were slow windfall, but still they drift along. Drift means move. They move along, means even when there was no windfall, still their vessel continued to move at a great speed. And till the vessel means what? Vessel here it is referring to the ship. Okay, till the vessel strikes with a shivering shock. Okay, listen. Suppose this is the ship. Okay, take the imagination. Think, this is the Inchcape Rock. So the Inchcape Rock is there, they were unable to hear any sound. So they thought that the Inchcape Rock is not there because no ringing sound was audible. They thought that they are nearer the shore. So the ship was coming, and it was coming, but even when there were no high tides, no waves, high tide, and even there was no windfall also, still they were going at a very fast speed, and suddenly they did strike against the Inchcape Rock. So when I did strike it, it did tremble or not? So likewise the vessel started shivering. The vessel trembled, means there were cracks in the vessel. Till the vessel means till the ship, means they were going at a great speed. Strikes the shivering shock, means with the trembling, with a great crushing sound. The ship collided against the Inchcape Rock. Oh Christ! We are also calling, oh God! They were also calling, oh Christ! It is the Inchcape Rock, and they were surprised, because it was beyond their imagination that the Inchcape Rock is present there. They were thinking that this bell will be audible, etc., etc., but it was not in their mind that the same thing is being cut by Sir Ralph. Okay, and the ship which collided against the Inchcape Rock is the same ship in which the Sir Ralph, the rover, was taking the journey. Understood? Oh Christ, it is the Inchcape Rock. Sir Ralph the rover tour is here. You might be thinking that what does it mean? No, it has no any particular meaning, but it is just like an idiom. Tour is here means you are just holding his head in anger, he just tore it. Okay, just a villain attitude, antisocial attitude this is. Sir Ralph the rover tour is here. He cursed himself in despair. Despair means hopelessness. And now Sir Ralph was hopeless. There was no one to save his own life. And he just thought, hey, I did caught the Inchcape bell from the Inchcape Rock. That's why my ship only collided against the rock. Okay, so he was hopeless. He was not having any expectation of survival. He just tore his hair out of anger. The waves rush in. Rush in means, here rush in means getting into on every side, and the vessel collided, and into the vessel from every side the waves were coming in. Okay, it means now the ship is going to sink in the mid of the ocean. The ship is sinking beneath the tide, and from every side there were tides, waves are coming, and the ship is sinking down. Understood? The ship is going down into the deep water. But even in his dying fear, and now Sir Ralph is able to see his own death in front of his eyes, and in the dying fear, one dreadful sound, one horrible sound could the rover hear, and he was here. Dreadful means horrible. Okay, one horrible sound he was able to hear, a sound as if with the Inchcape bell. And what type of sound that he was able to hear? He was able to hear that ting ting sound of the bell, as if Inchcape bell is ringing around him. Okay, the devil below was ringing his nail, and he is going deep, deep and deep water, and he was able to hear that as if a number of Inchcape bells are being surrounded, and the Inchcape bells are ringing. The ringing sound is audible in his ears, and he is able to see. He is unable to come out. And what's the scenario? He feels as if the devil is below. Below means deep in the water. The devil is there, and the devil is pushing. Sorry, the devil is pulling him. Okay, and he is going deep into water, and the devil is pulling his knees, his legs, and he is going deep into the water. Now listen, one thing here. Actually, there is no devil. Here, devil is his own work. Okay, his own work is being signified as the devil one. Understood it? This is your complete poem. It means here Sir Ralph did one thing wrong, and what is that? He tried to diminish the dignity of the abbot, and that's why he did cut down the Inchcape Rock and the Inchcape bell. Means he cut down the bell from the rock, and he was thinking that people will not bless the abbot anymore, but it was not in his mind that due to his own bad work he has to pay with his own life. That's why in the dying fear also, he was going to die, it was certain. He was able to hear the Inchcape bell sound, and someone is pulling him deep into the water, and he was unable to survive, and waves are rushing in from each and every side, and his ship is going deep in water. Understood? Means finally Sir Ralph got the punishment for his own work. Okay, so if you are doing good to others, the good will return to you in multiple. If you are doing bad to people, the same thing you will get in multiple. Okay, so never ever harm anyone, be a good person. Okay, till that time your poem is over. Thank you, have a nice time.